Okay, guys, what is up? This is OJ Senpai here today to do a Naruto discussion video. My second one in like a really short time. Basically, this video is gonna be pretty short. I'm gonna post an annotation to the door, the George shares video, his newest One Piece, no, his newest Naruto review. Somewhere around the screen, you'll find it there. And of course you can subscribe to this channel if you haven't already yet. But basically it's going to be a discussion about Kishimoto or basically mangaka in general and how they don't want to kill off characters. And I want to say that's a problem, especially for Kishimoto. Now, in this newest chapter of Naruto, if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Anywhere, Manga Sky, Manga Stream, Manga Reader, wherever. Those are my three top sites actually. Um, we see what happens at the end of the chapter where Guy is actually on the verge of death. We see Naruto come back. He was pretty epic, but he puts his hand over Guy's heart, and immediately we see some markings over Guy's heart. Now, it's ambiguous as to what that actually is, what Naruto is actually doing, and I think it's a damn problem. I think it's a really big problem because either a guy is going to survive or a guy is going to be prolonged for just a few minutes. And my problem is that I really don't like it when it comes to mangaka and them not killing off characters. Now, the reason why I say I don't like it is because when it comes to fights like these, Guy knew that he was already going to die when he used the 8 gates. And he was willing to go all out just to protect Rock Lee, Naruto, the rest of the youth, the rest of the Shinobi Alliance. He was willing to go all out and die and sacrifice himself for him. And Guy's a really good epic character. So when I see this, I have a problem with it. Because I'm like, wait, Kishimoto, what are you doing? If you're really trying to revive Guy, please don't. Let Guy die an honorable death. If you let Guy live, then that's going to destroy everything that Guy worked for to save his people. To save the people. And that's a problem. Just a second. Alright. So, and this isn't just a problem with just Kishimoto. Sorry about that. This isn't just a problem with just Kishimoto. This is where all mangaka who are scared to kill off characters. I guess the reason why is because of the fact that there are a lot of fans that can get attached to a lot of different characters. Like, for example, if you guys see my manga reviews, I'm always attached to Alibaba, one of the main characters of the series in Mahi. I like Alibaba so much, and not only that, I actually see myself in Alibaba. Like if I was in that manga, I would be exactly like Alibaba. I really would. And not only that, this one. Hold on a second. This is one of my favorite characters. Let me see. Hold on. Alibaba right here. That's my favorite character. So I guess it's because of the fact that people get really attached to certain characters, and that's why some people don't want their favorite characters getting killed off, which I can understand. However, when it comes to the story, sometimes a story has to progress, but in order for that to happen, one of the characters needs to get killed, or maybe like sometimes one of the characters needs to get killed. Like, for example, of course, in Magi, we see Mugamet, he dies. We see the whole thing with him, and he dies, and he stays with the Black Root. He gives Aladdin his mission, all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good way to die, because that's an honorable death, because he's going to sacrifice himself to stay with the Black Root that he the Black Root that he forsake in the first place. And I think that's epic. And when it comes to deaths like in One Piece, the two major deaths in the series, Porcus the Ace and Whitebeard, also known as Edward Newgate, they had to die. Especially, let me start off with Whitebeard. Because of Whitebeard, in order for the story to be as is now, with Fishman Island becoming the territory of Big Mom, with Luffy declaring war on Big Mom in the first place, with Blackbeard now has acquired most of Whitebeard's territories. All this other shit, it all stems back to the fact that Whitebeard died. The way the story is now is due to Whitebeard. dying in the Battle of the Marineford. And that is actually really good because it shows that you can kill off a character, not only kill them off, but also progress the story in a really great way. Now, I'm not saying that if Whitebeard hadn't died, the story would have sucked afterwards. No, I don't think so. I'm just saying that, you know, because Whitebeard died, a lot of these things happen, and that's the way the story is now. And when it comes to Ace dying had so much importance to it, especially when it came to this arc. We see Ace. Ace's Mary no Me, his former Devil Fruit abilities are now reborn. Not only that, if you read the newest One Piece chapter, Sabo now inherits Ace's will, basically. And then, of course, it brings in the whole tournament aspect where everyone in the tournament now wants Ace's Devil Fruit. We see all these countries, all these nations coming together to fight for this one Devil Fruit. And normally, unless Oda found another way to do it, we wouldn't see all these people from all these different countries unless they were brought together by some other shape or means. So the Mary no Me, Ace dying was the best way for us to see all these different countries in a new world, all these different people, knowing what the new world is. That was necessary. Now, and of course, that was also necessary because it made Luffy realize that, yo, I cannot win every fight that I get myself into. I need to become stronger so that way I can protect my friends, despite the fact that I wasn't able to protect Ace in Marineford. So when someone dies in a series, that can be really important. And my problem is that if you try and bring the character back in some way, shape, or form, that's going to make the character, not only will it make the story suck somewhat, it's going to make the character suck. When it comes to Minato, everyone back in part 1 loved Minato. Despite the fact that Minato was dead, everyone loved him. This nigga was the best Hokage. Well, not the best Hokage, but he was one of the most favorite Hokages you ever could see. The best Kage ever. Well, not the best Kage ever either, but one of the best Kages. And people loved him. But once he was revived via Edo Tensei, being reanimated in part 2, Kishimoto did Minato dirty. For all the Minato fans, and I'm a Minato fan as well, we can tell Kishimoto did Minato dirty. He got fucked up by Madara. He got both of his arms are cut off. He's barely trying to hold his own against the Sage of the Sixth Pass, or the newest Sage of the Sixth Pass. And it just makes Minato look like really ass cheeks. When Minato tried to force the other half of the Kyuubi, the Kyuubi, into Naruto's body so Naruto could still live, he failed because, what's his name? Black, can't remember his name. It was one of Naruto's, Black Zetsu, yeah. I forgot his name entirely, my fault. But when Black Zetsu stole it, it was just so lame on Minato's behalf. Because here's his son, lying on a table, just all fucked up and shit. And next you know, I need to save my son. That moment, and then it had a flashback. That flashback was epic. But then, all of a sudden, Kishimoto lets Black Zetsu take the other half of the Kyuubi away. Now, understandably, that in order for Madara to get whole again, he needed that other half. So I'm not gonna say that wasn't bad in the sense that Madara gained that new more power. But still, it made Minato look like a bitch. It made Minato look so lame, despite the fact that Minato was one of the most favorite characters in Naruto, even in death. That's a problem. When you bring a character back from dying, there's a potential of that character becoming extremely lame. Obito, that's the greatest fucking example. Obito, he died, and it was epic. It was epic when he died, or when we thought he died from that huge boulder, because he gave Kakashi his eye. He gave Kakashi his eye and said, "Here, Kakashi, I might not survive. You take this eye, stitch it into his head, stuff like that. That's my final gift to you for your birthday." That flashback was epic as fuck. That was probably one of the best flashbacks for Obito and Kakashi that I've ever seen in my life. But the problem is that Obito was brought back. Now, granted, Obito was determined to be one of the final villains in the first place. But the thing is that Obito was brought back, and he was ass cheeks. He came out all beastly as Toby, but then once he was revealed, he revealed his feelings. He was like, "Oh, Rin. I'm like, oh my gosh, please, Kishimoto, stop. And for at least 20 to 30 chapters, all we saw was Obito just talk about Rin the entire fucking time. And I was like, dude, Kishimoto, what are you doing? And this whole friendship and all this other shit. So Kishimoto bringing back Obito, despite the fact that Obito was going to be one of the final villains in the series, bringing back Obito was a bad idea, because once you brought back Obito, all of a sudden Obito was ass cheeks. Obito's death meant nothing. If Guy is revived, Guy's sacrifice would have been for nothing. He would have gotten fucked up just for Naruto to revive him again. Now, granted, I'm not saying Guy should die. I'm not saying that. I like Guy as a character, but that's a problem because Guy sacrificed his life. Guy sacrificed everything he had just so he could save Naruto, just so he could save Rock Lee, Sakura, all those shinobi that were young, that still had like their springtime leaves, whatever they're called. I can't believe I'm forgetting them, but still. He died, and it was like an epic battle. And he died for that. And I'm like, thank you, Guy. Thank you. Guy actually did something really damn useful. He wasn't irrelevant anymore. Now, not that I'm saying that, he wasn't a bad character. But Guy doing that, I thought that was epic. So I really have a problem with mangaka who cannot kill off characters and that give progression to the story. And I have a problem with mangaka who not only kill off characters, but then bring them back and make them look shitty as fuck. I don't want that. I want characters that die to die, that are close to death, that die, that there's no way they can save them. Despite the fact that Guy being saved by Naruto makes sense because Naruto now has the powers of a god technically. Okay, that makes sense, but that doesn't mean that that's a good thing still. So comment down and put your words down in the comment section down below. Tell me what you guys think about this topic. Do you think that what Naruto did was good in this chapter? Do you think that manga should have more balls and kill off characters? At least not that often, but at least sometimes, so that way the story can progress. And do you think that bringing characters back from the dead is a good thing? So yeah, comment down below. The annotation for the Thejorishae video will be somewhere around here. Yeah, his Naruto review. So the annotation should be somewhere around here. So like the video if you like it, dislike it if you don't. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. I'm OJ Senpai, and I'm out. Peace, guys.